Okay, good afternoon, everybody. And today we're going to start with a new unit. We're going to start with the Middle English period. If we have to establish a landmark for the start as a starting point of this period, at least in England, it is 1066 with the Battle of Hastings, in which the Normans came into power. But we have to go back in time to understand how they came into power. Okay, so Edward the Confessor was when the English king Edward the Confessor died on the 5th of January 1066. No fixed procedures were in place to decide who should succeed him on the throne. The Witan, a supreme council of wise men, had to make a decision, and they had 4 candidates to choose from. Edgar the Atheling, he was a closest blood claimant to Edward. Edgar, a Saxon prince and nephew of Edward, was a sickly 14-year-old boy. Harold Godwinson, powerful noble in England, a good soldier and a gifted politician. He was son of Earl Godwin, the most powerful noble in England. Harold was a leading Saxon lord and the brother of Edward's wife. He had won a number of battles for Edward. Harold was chosen by the Witan, that is the king's council, to succeed Edward the Confessor. He also said that it was Edward's dying wish that he, Harold, should have the crown, but there are no records of this. So the day after Edward died, Harold became king of Harold II of England. Harold did not have a direct blood link to the king, so he was not of royal birth. Then we have William, Duke of Normandy, which is overseas in France. William was a distant cousin of Edward the Confessor and wanted to be the next king. He claimed that both Edward and Harold had promised him the throne, but English supporters of Harold challenged this. When Edward was a boy in 1016, the King Canute invaded England and Edward ran away to Normandy for safety. Edward stayed in Normandy until he became King of England in 1042. Edward invited William of Normandy to his court in 1051 and supposedly promised to make him heir. After a shipwreck in 1064, Harold was handed over to William of Normandy, who forced him to swear an oath that he would help William become the next king of England when Edward died. So it was said that the oath was given over a box that, unbeknown to Harold, contained the bones of a saint. Oaths were important guarantees that were considered binding in the Middle Ages. So this particular oath bound Harold to helping William and made Harold's own claim to the throne look illegal. So William had been a very successful ruler of Normandy, and he thought he could do equal good job for England. And the last claim came in the hands of Harald Hardrad. He was a Viking king of Norway. Hardrad was a king of Norway and a direct descendant of the kings of England. He was related to the King Canute, who was the King of England from 1016 to 1032. The Vikings invaded England long ago in the 860s and settled in the north. In 1016, the Viking king Canute became King of England, Denmark, and Norway. So England was ruled by Norwegian kings right up until 1042, when Edward the Confessor, who was the last Saxon king, snatched back the throne from them. Hardrad wanted to be King of England because he wanted more power and better land. Hardrad was very unpopular, but very powerful. His name alone was enough to strike fear into the hearts and minds of his enemies. So, and here you can see the royal family tree of William the Conqueror. Take time to watch it.